So today we're going to be clearing trees here along the driveway. We're going to be pulling out the small trees. We're going to be cutting down some of the bigger trees, and we're going to take all the limbs and we're going to try to run those through the wood chipper, save all the big pieces for firewood. So I tried to get everything together yesterday. I put the tree puller on the T654, and then I took the backhoe off and I put the wood chipper on the 2515. And I also got out the barge wagon so that we can directly throw the wood chips inside of here. And this is like a dump wagon, so we can dump them out wherever we want to later. So yesterday I came up here with the pole saw and I trimmed most of these trees up to about 12 feet tall. So I have a bunch of limbs laying here on the field side all the way down. So I'm gonna go ahead and start chipping limbs first, and then once we get that out of the way, we'll start pulling some trees. Oh man, it is a terrible windy day today. I think most of it's actually blowing out than rather going in the wagon. If we look at the front of the tractor, you can see all the wood shavings all over the place, all over my hat. Hopefully the wind won't be as bad the further we get down this hill. I may have to switch sides so the tractor's on the other side so the wind is working in our favor. So I just finished running all the limbs through the wood chipper. Now I'm gonna go ahead and unhitch the tractor from the wagon. It's got the tree puller on the front of it. And I'm gonna use it to pull out the small trees and brush along here, maybe some of the thorn bushes. And the reason I'm using that is because there's basically no chance of it growing back if I pull it out by the roots. gonna have to apologize for the wind. It is very windy today. So you can see here I've laid out everything we pulled out by the roots. Some of these were like 4-inch diameter. This last one, this one was probably pushing about a 5-inch diameter on that tree right there. But we've got several laid out here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take a chainsaw, I'm gonna cut the roots off of them. And we'll see if we can chip the rest of the tree, and we'll just take the roots back to the brush pile. It's like the only day that you get a sunny day and it's a windy day. Now I've still got several trees down this way that I need to pull, but really the wagon's kind of like in the way of me getting through there. And then this is getting very soft. This is like the very bottom of the hill right here, so I was sinking in right here. So I'll probably have to come back and do that section a different day when it's drier. And I run out of gas. Go figure. I'm gonna go ahead and start the wood chipper back up, and we're really gonna start making some wood chips now, because we're gonna try to chip up the entire tree. And when you get to the 3, 4, 5-inch diameters, you really start making chips way quicker than messing with them smaller limbs. So yesterday I came out here and I marked all of the trees along the driveway here that we're not gonna keep. I put like an orange stripe on each one of them. And I've got several here that need to come out. It is really windy today. I don't want to cut down any big ones because the wind is actually going like this direction. And my power lines are like right here on that side of the driveway. So what I'll probably do, boy, it is windy though. I'll probably pick some of these smaller ones. They're like a 6, 8-inch diameter, and I'll just cut out some of the small ones today. And we might get a little bit of firewood out of them, and then we'll chip the rest. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and use some Tordon RTU. This is stump killer. Just needs to go on the outside where the tree was living. This is just gonna keep the tree from growing back. It's definitely a windy day out here. I'm thinking maybe when I fence in this pasture, I may put in some windbreaks. Just maybe not for the animals, just for us. Because this field is completely, I mean, it's almost completely open that way for like a mile. And it's all woods to the north of us. But that way is open, so like all the wind funnels right through here. And yeah, I don't think I'd mind putting some pine trees at the far end of the property just for a little bit of a windbreak. It's probably not that late yet. Let's see what time it is. There it is, 4:15. I think it ought to be later than it is. Today's a time change. So we moved our clocks forward an hour last night. So we lost an hour of sleep, but it's gonna be, instead of getting dark at like 6 o'clock in the evening, it's gonna be dark at 7 in the evening now. So when I get home from work, it's definitely gonna have a lot more time to be able to try to get some stuff done of an evening. And that's a good thing, because through the week, it's really hard to get anything done when it's dark. And we're starting to get a fairly decent amount of wood chips here. So, I don't know, you can see they're probably all different sizes there. But mostly it's these little ones. They're like little 1/4-inch chips. And then when you do the big pieces of wood, you get some bigger chips in there. It makes a really nice wood chip, in my opinion. I like that really small wood chip. It seems to break down and compost fairly quickly. We used to use this in our outside chicken run when we had a different setup with chickens. And the chickens would scratch through it and it would compost with that chicken manure. It'd compost within a year, and you'd have this really great compost put on the garden. But we're gonna probably use this to mulch the orchard. And then we may put it in some spots where Rebecca knows that morel mushrooms grow. And we might just go ahead and just cover the ground to help maybe feed those mushrooms. Maybe we'll get more the following year. So a couple of days ago, they came and they spread 24 tons of ag lime out on this front 12 acres. And that's to raise the pH of the soil, basically make it from being acidic closer to neutral, like what you want for pasture grass. So everything is done now for the soil. We've limed it, we've fertilized it. So now the only thing left to do is to come back and plant this in a few weeks. So yesterday, I got everything ready for today, but I also went to the scrap yard. So all of that field fencing that we had, this trailer packed full of all that field fencing that we had burnt up in that brush pile, I took a 55-gallon drum that's like full of scrap metal and bolts and old saw blades and stuff like that, and maybe a few other pieces. And they did pay me for it. They paid me for this fencing. So scrap's $120 a ton. I think we had around 880 pounds. Ended up getting $49.20 for the scrap metal the other day, which I was just happy for it to be gone. And I ended up with enough money I could probably take Rebecca out to lunch sometime. Well, I think the fence line's looking better and better every time. It's just gonna take me a while to get that done. I counted 23 trees down there that need to come out. We've got 4 trees up here, so still 27 trees to cut down in that section right there, and then it'll look a lot better. I just want to get them all cut down before we put up our fence, because I mean there is the power line on this side, so I can't fall it toward the power line, I can't fall it toward the fence, so it'd be kind of in a bad situation, or it'd be pretty hard to cut a tree down without damaging something. So gotta get them out now. So I will say that the tree puller has impressed me. That's not mine, I'm borrowing that from my buddy Ben, and that thing, and even on the big tractor, it can really pull out some stuff. It'd probably be amazing what that thing could do on a skid steer. So I probably won't keep that much longer. I'll have to take that back to him. But that pulled out some decent sized trees today. So pretty impressed with how that thing has operated. That is for sure. I even, some of them were big enough, I even lifted up the rear end of that tractor, and I just had the fluid put in there like what, a week or so ago. So it's like 1,400 pounds heavier. I was still lifting up the back end trying to pull those trees out. So they were in there pretty good, but you rock it back and forth and they'll end up coming out. I'm just gonna go ahead and clean things up, get those stumps probably put over on the burn pile. I'm not putting the burn pile back in the field again. After that was all done and said, I was not happy having to dig a hole and bury it. So we're putting the burn pile in a more strategic location. And with us chipping up a lot of the limbs, we'll probably minimize the size of the burn pile as well. So it mostly will end up just being like some of the old posts, still be fencing, I'm sure, mixed in it, and you know, a bunch of root balls from the trees. But doing things a little bit differently on this next one. You kind of live and learn. You know, you try things out, you know, and you see how it goes. And when it was all done and said, I really wasn't happy that I had a big hole dug in my field when it was done and over with, you know. So I'll do it differently this time and try something again new this time. So we'll see how it goes. So it is, trial and error. Never get it right the first time. I don't know if you get it perfect anytime, really. It's just keep on trying new things and see what works for you. But anyway, that's it for this video, guys. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.